Hello, I'm Grant Wallstrom, contributing editor to Internal Auditor magazine's Fraud Department and Senior Manager of Fraud Forensics and Investigations at ADT in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm pleased to introduce this episode of Fraud on the All Things Internal Audit podcast, which provides fictionalized accounts of fraud based on actual events. II members can read the full fraud article exclusively in the April 2023 issue of Internal Auditor magazine, including bonus material on lessons learned. Listen now to A Trick of the Light.
Part 1. You Light Up My Life. Globright grew into a $500 million business by selling floodlights to big box retailers like Costco, Home Depot, and Target. But over several years, sales dropped as new direct-to-consumer business competitors entered the market. Indeed, the shop-from-home phenomenon seriously eroded Globright's market share. In addition, new tech-savvy competitors began offering modern floodlights that connect to the Internet of Things. Globright CEO and founder Oliver Lumiere realized the company needed to adapt or die. So he recruited Steve Magnolia, an industry veteran of big box retail sales, to establish an e-commerce division. Magnolia knew the key to e-commerce success was customer service and quick fulfillment. So he transformed the company's call centers into 24-hour-a-day fulfillment centers. Soon, Magnolia could brag to senior management that Globright customers could speak to a live agent who would fulfill all their lighting needs within 1 minute. He told the board and investors that his goal was to have same-day shipping on any order received before 3 p.m. What's more, the company allowed payments with a credit card or checking account to make the customer experience as convenient as possible. And the good news was about to get even better for Globright. Part 2. Even a flash of brilliance can blind you. Ryan Weld, Globright's chief product designer, is a firm believer in the Internet of Things. So when he designed a new type of floodlight with an embedded camera called the MaxForce 2000, it was revolutionary. With the click of one button, customers could call for assistance and have the camera send live video and audio to their smartphone instantaneously. Even better, the system was easy to install and did not require expensive monthly monitoring fees. The MaxForce 2000 was introduced with a national advertising campaign and was an immediate hit. However, even as Globright's business was booming, the e-commerce division was not meeting its cash flow goals. Magnolia continued to gloat that sales were skyrocketing, and he asserted that any shortfalls in cash were not his concern and should be researched by the finance department. Concerned about the e-commerce division, Lumiere asked James Duval, Globright's chief audit executive, to determine the cause of the shortfalls in cash flow. Duval had recently introduced data analytics into the company's audit process and was eager to delve into the cash flow concern. In reviewing the e-commerce financial statements, Duval's team noticed a spike in the accounts receivable aging reports, which reflect overdue invoices, accounts receivable, or unused credit memos. The auditors decided to focus the data analytics tools on a cluster of customers who had dozens and, in some cases, hundreds of orders but only made one or no payment. Duval and his team continued to dig into the non-payments and discovered most of the customers were placing orders during evening hours for dozens of floodlights at one time. Furthermore, the orders were being fulfilled without being reviewed and were all using a checking account. While credit card payments are standard in e-commerce, checking account payments are less common because they require an automated clearinghouse or ACH transfer, which can take up to 3 days to complete. Duval took his findings to Macy DeLuca, the chief financial officer. DeLuca had her team conduct a review of the sales orders in question. They found that the sales showed a good payment source in the billing system when the customer placed the order, but no money received when the ACH payment was requested. DeLuca's team discovered that Globright's payment system would identify that a valid ACH account was presented for payment. However, the billing system could not verify the transfer of funds for up to 3 days. Duval worried that the company had become the target of fraudsters who were exploiting the ACH processing system and Globright's control deficiencies to obtain thousands of floodlights for little or no money. The next step was to bring in Globright's corporate security. Part 3. Check, please. Genevieve O'Reilly, Globright's Director of Corporate Security, conducted background checks on the most egregious non-paying customers and discovered that many appeared to be using aliases. O'Reilly suspected the perpetrators were using stolen identities, so she searched the internet for resellers of the MaxForce 2000. A review of several internet marketplaces identified sellers who were offering Globright's floodlights online. The quantity of units for sale convinced O'Reilly that many of these devices could have been purchased by the fraudsters. Duval reviewed his findings with Lumiere and senior leadership, resulting in a series of changes. First, Globright installed new technology that cut verification time for an ACH payment to 24 hours. Next, the payment system was updated to correctly reflect the status of customers presenting credit cards or checking accounts. Going forward, the company would not ship any product until payment from the customer was verified. In addition, Globright updated its order system to require management review if a customer order exceeded predetermined thresholds. O'Reilly and Globright's legal department worked with various internet marketplaces' fraud departments to take down online sellers suspected of selling stolen floodlights. Globright supported law enforcement in criminal investigations where the fraudsters could be identified.
This has been Fraud, a fictionalized account based on actual events, brought to you by the Institute of Internal Auditors. IIA members can access the full story in the April 2023 issue of Internal Auditor magazine, including bonus material on lessons learned. To read more, visit internalauditor.theiia.org. For more fraud-related resources, including guidance and thought leadership from the IIA and the ACFE, visit theiia.org/ACFE fraud.